Welcome. In this session, we're going to talk about how to quote and provision a new customer in my.cloudjumper.com. This whole presentation is done from the perspective of you, the MSP, so please keep that in mind. We're going to start in the quoting section of mycloudjumper.com. In this case, I've already created a customer called Demo Customer. However, you could also create a new prospect, put in some information, and start to quote for them. As you can see, there are a couple promotional contract terms available, one for a competitive replacement program and one for a disaster relief program. These will change on an ongoing basis as promotions are added or expire. Unless you are using one of those promotions, which would usually require a one-year commitment, you should leave the contract term at month to month. Go ahead and give your quote a name, and then go through and build out what your customers need based on what you know from your discovery process. The first thing you're likely going to start with is the nWorkspace users. I'm going to start in our example with a 15-user environment. We're also going to add some storage, let's say. This user environment does come with 100 gigs of user storage. 15 users, let's assume they need more like 250. So we're going to add 150 more gigabytes of storage. Potentially, we could talk about adding a line of business application server. That might be necessary for running SQL or some other line of business application. The virtual server that's included is a 1 CPU, 2 gig of RAM machine. So usually, you'll then go and add some CPU and RAM to that machine as well. Maybe that server also needs a little bit more storage, so we're going to change this from 150 to 250. And we'll note in here 150 gigabytes goes to the terminal server. 100 gigabytes goes to the line of business server. We can also make other notes in here, depending on your situation, and these notes will pass through to our onboarding and implementation team. It'll also show on the quote when you come back in to save quotes in your order history, so you can take notes here for yourself as well. Once you've built out the quote the way you want it to be, you can come in and choose your data center. This is something that we'll go through in your training to decide which data center is right for you. You can give your customer a company login identifier. This is similar to their domain name. In fact, usually I'll recommend using their email domain without the .com or .net at the end. It becomes part of every user's username to log into the system. We also offer an internal company code. This is a reference code you can define that will be used in our billing file, so you can then cross-reference the bills you get from us with your clients in your own record-keeping systems. From here, you can save the quote or place the order. I'm not going to place the order here because it would actually do it, but when you place the order, it'll spin up the environment, pull the machines out of cache, and in 5 to 15 minutes, you'll have your environment ready to go, and you can start adding customers' names, applications, permissions, and so on to bring them up to speed.